nothing.
Weird. Weird.
You know, someone said that frickin' Panera's Pepsi's taste funny.
Better.
No, I mean,
What?
Now,
Hello.
hello, governor. Well,
Where
not
in the
governor.
world is Epstein's List?
Which, by the way, for our eagle-eyed viewers, there's a little surprise in that thumbnail. Look for it. You'll
Look
find
for
it.
it.
Look for it.
Uh, so, just as the title says, where's the Epstein List? I thought we were releasing tons of shit on there. Like, well, what's going on? I understand the Charlie Kirk thing is very important, and it is. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not belittling that. But we're gonna tie it all in together.
You can do things at the same time, and I'm not one of those people. I don't think that Charlie Kirk's assassination was a cover-up to try to make people forget about the Epstein files because one, just no, and two, you'd have to be a special kind of stupid to think that Epstein's going away.
Well, the thing is, this whole Charlie Kirk thing now with the shooter who supposedly shot him, he was actually spotted at a Dairy Queen 17 minutes before it, and it's coming out. It's not.
You've been watching Candace Owens.
Well, I'm not saying she's right or wrong, but at the same time, like if this is true, this is huge, and we have a freaking huge, a bigger issue on our hands than this because there's a lot of people. Have you been seeing the videos about someone saying that there was a trap door or something like
Yeah,
that?
I'm not. This is just me personally because I've not seen all the information. I'm not buying it. Like
That bullet, where's the exit wound?
that is strange. But
That
here's
was
the
a
thing.
big bullet. That was a big bullet. That
I
thing would have
watched.
exploded his head.
What kind of gun was it? I can't remember.
Dude, the bullet was that long, bro.
No, but
A
it
bullet
just
like that, like hitting a deer or something like that, like it's just like yeah, that's
well,
a good question. I don't know.
that's
Like
because I
I'm
mean,
going off what other people are saying, so but also I'm also saying I don't know if I'm correct.
well,
FYI, I'm just putting things out there.
I will counter with another story that I'm not going to name names, but somebody that
Names
I
are
know
random.
reposted a video on TikTok today about how apparently Erica Kirk was somehow linked to an organization that was alleged to have kidnapped children in Romania, and somehow it's connected to Epstein. Bro, I'll let you put your headphones back on. Yeah, dude,
No, you're good. I heard
I,
you the entire time.
I did a
Dude,
five second.
no.
No, dude, here's the thing though. I did a 5 second Google search and debunked everything, including the fact the guy got her age wrong. Because believe it or not, the first thing that made me doubt the video was when he said that she competed for Miss Arizona and won at 17. You can do teen Miss Arizona, but you have to be 18 to compete in Miss Arizona. So when he said right out of the gate, "Oh, I think she was like 17," I'm like, "Well, you clearly didn't research shit because it took me 5 seconds to." It's Google's free. She was 23.
Google it.
She was 23 when she competed and won Miss Arizona. She was involved, but I mean, this is all, it's all there, right? There's no official record of that charity even being kicked out of Romania. And that charity was not one that Erica Kirk was directly involved with. The charity that she had in the United States coordinated with them, but they were not the same entity.
Right.
Like people. And I'm looking at you, Candace. I know a lot of people love Candace, but you can't just
She's
say
too emotional
shit.
for me, and she's always been too emotional for me because, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'll get emotional and say stuff, but, like, she says she gets emotional and she puts stuff out there that might or might not be, like, you know, a little damaging. Like, when she was talking about Charlie converting to Catholicism, and it's just like, so what? Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, you know, I mean, he's still a Christian, just with
Yeah, and
bigger
it's
pockets.
what I don't
Sorry,
even know what
Charlie.
I mean. I know
I think
he's
even he would laugh at that.
yeah. I know that he wasn't Catholic. I don't know what denomination he was though. Not that it matters. I'm just
Um,
curious.
Protestant.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was a specific.
And I don't even know if that's true. That's just what I'm fairly certain that's what I read. Presbyterian. Never mind, I was corrected. Uh, oh, I don't
Oh
know what he
goddamn.
was. What was he?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
Watch
I'm
your
looking up
mouth,
the
sir.
um Mauser Mauser 3006. Sorry, I'm just looking. I don't mean to be all.
Oh no, you're
Uh,
good. I was just going to say while you're looking that up, actually, Sasha and I have been talking, and I think we are going to possibly do a segment for during the day
really?
and try to get us on some watch hours, buddy. What do you
Oh,
think?
dude, love it. You guys should definitely do. Dude. I've been trying to get all these people as addicted to
She has been
podcasting.
bugging me. She's been bugging me, not bugging me. I'm sorry, that's the wrong word. But she's been trying to like basically tell me to get off my ass and let's start doing some stuff. So what's up, Sosa? When your
Um,
woman tells you get off your ass, you get off your ass.
yeah, I can't. So that the typical that rifle typically fires a .308 inch diameter bullet, but the ammunition can vary. So it's not that big. It's
I
big,
didn't
but
know if
it's
it
not.
was hollow or anything like that. Or do
I
we know
don't
anything
think that
about that?
that I don't know. Like I said, I can't find it. And this is a quick. I
Oh,
can do
okay. I
more
don't know enough
research,
about
but
guns.
right. So that's like I was. Hey, Sosa. Sorry, I ignored you.
You're
Like
good. What's up? What's up?
I'm not an.
Nothing.
I'm not an expert, but I've shot my fair share of rifles, so I'm
Hey,
not
I'm not an
shocked.
expert, but I ate a brownie once.
No, rifles are fun to
I
it's
bet,
surprisingly fun.
dude. I have a BB gun and it's so fun to shoot.
It is, dude. It is. It's
I
dope.
just can't afford. I just can't afford the guns and all the ammo, dude. It's
Dude,
expensive.
I know that's why I don't have any. They're so expensive,
That's
but
literally it. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd have them.
well, but my whole thing is like that. I'll put it to you this way: there's no exit wound because there was no exit wound, at least none that I saw. But I definitely saw an entry wound. So
Well, there's a lot of people saying that it came through the top of his head, and I'm just like, dude, there'd be a
that's
huge
not.
hole. Like,
Well, not only
you
that,
know,
that's impossible at the
there.
angle because he was shooting down, and I
Oh, I
saw where
see.
that
I see.
bullet. I saw where that bullet went in.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So what are you saying? Thomas Massey, like the Republican,
Yes,
like from
I think I know what he's talking about.
he's misrepresenting the Epstein file issue. Well, that's another thing is like the thing with Charlie Kirk. Uh, it pushed down the Epstein files. Like I understand, but at the same time, we can do both. We can do both. Like where's the Epstein files? Like let's. I'm still on the
Well,
edge of Trump.
I have
I'm
I
Trump
have a
fans. You know, I'm
I
like, dude,
have
let's get this going.
yeah, I have an answer for that, and I'm sure that I'm right. But before I do that, I just want to let everybody know tonight's podcast is brought to you by our friends at Wild Education and by RT Media, the podcast network. You'll hear about both of those a little bit later on. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Epstein list is not going to be released willingly because there are people on that list that are either in the government or have significant influence over the government, and that's the only reason why. Now, Thomas Massey, I don't know if this is what you're talking about, Sosa, but I did see a video of Thomas Massey speaking in the House, and he name dropped one person and then listed like the positions of 19 other people that are supposedly the big. And he says, "And one crown prince," and we all know who that fucking is.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
zero
Thank
mystery.
thanks. Dude, seriously, that this is where Trump has messed up with me, and honestly, the economy a little bit too. I'm still kind of sore about that. Like, I understand it's 9 months into his presidency. Like, we should see some changes. I mean, I'm not saying like we should have like $1.50 gas, but like, why is
Be
gas still
nice.
going back up? I
It'd be
mean, like
nice.
supposedly, what he said, drill, baby, drill. So I'm just like, why aren't we? What's going on? Like we've got the House and the Senate for the next 2 years. So let's get some shit done when it comes to lowering prices. Like Indiana has a ridiculous gas tax, and yet we take in well over $1 billion in taxes, over taxated. Like so, therefore,
Yeah.
lower the fucking taxes.
Well, you
Like
see that solution is too goddamn sensible and logical, and
I
it
know.
just
Let's get all
makes
these
too
old
much.
fucks. Let's get all these old fucks out of Washington and that, and let's get some new blood. Let's write some new rules on re-election. If shit falls below and the economy sucks and you're not doing your job, you're fucking fired.
Well,
Get the fuck out.
funny you mentioned that
Uh,
because. Oh, go ahead.
do we have a language barrier for a sponsor?
No,
Should I take it? Okay,
no,
just make sure.
you're good.
Dude, I'm not. All right, listen, Sosa. Like, I don't know if you have more money than I do, but when you go out to eat, it's expensive. You know, like, and everyone says eating out's a privilege. I'm like, dude, it's all I have left.
I mean, I shouldn't laugh at that because yeah, that's true.
It's true. It's all I have left. Like, like like a chili cheese burrito is $3.39 at my local, and
Didn't
it's
they used
supposed
to
to be
be?
three. It's
Didn't they used to be
99 cents.
Yeah, like 89 or 99 cents or
It's
something.
well, to be fair, you are closer to the
Yeah.
refineries
Well,
than
and
anyone
here's a
else,
little
so
here's a little quirk about Indiana. Indiana, I
we have a high
I
gas tax.
well, it's not only that, but that's true, but also
33
the fact that,
cents.
as far as I'm aware, and if I'm wrong, correct me on this, but I believe Indiana has a law that says the state has to refine its own gasoline, but we only have like one or two refineries in the state.
Oh, so that
So,
would contribute to our thing. So then let's get some refineries built with that extra $1 billion.
well, I mean, you would think, or I don't know, maybe change the fucking law so we can just, because that would affect prices later. But if you want to affect prices now, you can get rid of that stupid ass law. And
I agree, but like I said, going back to taxes, dude, like we took in over $1 billion in taxes. Why aren't our roads pristine? Like, why aren't our
oh,
schools doing well? How are we taking in so many taxes and yet nothing's getting done properly? It's like, like Governor Von Braun, Governor Von Braun, he's not a Nazi. I'm not gonna say
well,
that shit.
but
That's just stupid.
funnily enough, you mentioned that because it does seem like our governor being one of them is, and I get it. It's a cult. It's part of the culture war. Blah 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 blah. But there are a lot of Republican politicians that are still way too focused on like the trans shit. And you shouldn't be focusing on trans. You should be focused on transportation.
Well, hold on a second. So simply just because it's the trans community right now that's been shooting up schools and shooting people and having issues. And I'm not saying all of them are trans, but they're connected because even the so-called shooter, if he was the shooter, like, I'm not saying either way, but if
Not because he hasn't been
Dairy
convicted
that
yet. Yeah.
well, that Dairy Queen evidence, if that comes to light and proves that he wasn't there, so he's
Well,
patsy.
okay.
We'll find out.
Here's the
I'm not
only
saying it's
thing.
true. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
but
like,
I'm giving an alternative perspective, and I don't know. But the only person I've seen, I'm sure it's running around Twitter, but the only source
word
I've
Sosa.
seen I've seen talking about it is Candace Owens, and she's just saying that he was there during the time. I don't know if that's true. Like
Well,
some
the time frame from Dairy Queen puts it at the exact time of what she said. It's not that she's saying a certain time. She's saying from the cameras from that Dairy Queen, that's the time that he was there. So like
right, but
either their time is off on their cameras, which is
which maybe,
possible because
yep,
I worked at a place, dude, and our time was off by like an hour, 2 hours,
yeah,
sometimes 6 hours. So it
yep,
happens. But you have other cameras in the vicinity. You will see what car he was in. You will see if he
yep.
left, so we got to investigate.
Yeah, that's all, and I have zero issue with investigating. But here's the other thing, and just to pile on Candace for a minute, she was
Sorry,
also
I'm hyped tonight. So
no, it's all good. So I saw a video of hers where she was talking about how like I think that the FBI doctored the text messages, and there were a lot of people that were saying that because yeah, they looked kind of fucking weird. But my first, and I wish I'd said something because now you have to take my
I
word
agree,
for it. And
Justin.
what's that? I
He
mean,
just
Joe
said,
Rogan
he
is
goes, I
saying
mean,
it's
Joe Rogan is saying it's suspicious enough to question to the narrative. I mean, it's
sure.
true.
Sure, but yeah, I'm alluding to one of those. So Candace Owens was pointing out how it looked like law enforcement had written those text messages because they were saying things like vehicle
Dude,
and I have
those
to
text
change my outfit.
messages were weird.
Yes, but
Like,
here's the thing though. Here's the
but
thing.
he's also mentally ill.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna get to that. So
Sorry.
no,
I
you're
digress.
good. So for a couple days, like everyone, like I was seeing so many videos about like, well, law enforcement obviously doctored these. No, motherfucker, they
I
didn't
agree, Justin.
because they released a video of a traffic stop in 2021, and he talked exactly fucking like that. Even used the word
Oh,
vehicle. Even used like
I haven't
that's
seen him talk, so
yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's
Okay,
just how
that's fair.
and that's what I'm saying. I wish I had said something at the time because I even said I'm like, and I can speak personally. I have some odd word choices that I use. I don't know why. I'm just weird. fake because the
I'm not.
trans person.
I'm not so sure about the Candace Owens thing. Like, I'm not saying that, but like, I mean, it raises a good point. And like, if somebody has evidence that he's been somewhere else at the
Sure.
time of a massive, a massive freaking assassination of a huge political opponent, well, not opponent, but a political, what would you call him, influencer.
Yeah.
So like, I mean,
All
dude,
I'm
like
saying is let's
we have
investigate the
all the
leaks.
stuff in the we have so much like stuff at our disposal. Let why has this not already been like evidence? So that there this is why I give it like a grain of salt, because the thing is it might not
Well,
be true. So like
conversely,
because like come on, it
conversely
shouldn't take
though,
that long to figure out if he was there or not.
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Conversely, though, you could, and I'm not saying this is the case, but you could make the argument that the FBI maybe doesn't want to push much further because right now they have a guy and
Hmm.
they clearly they felt like they had enough evidence to arrest him. For me, it's
S-
like Rick. Oh God, Nick Fuentes, non anti-Semite being like, nah,
Hey,
dog.
I've changed my tune on Israel, because the thing is, I'm a Christian myself, but the thing is, even in the Bible, the Israel that we talk about is not the Israel of today. That was a state funded, or not funded, but founded in 1948. It's not the Israel that we talk about in the Bible. So like a lot of Christians think they have to support Israel, and it's like, no, you don't.
No, they don't
You
have
you
to,
you you support,
but
if
not
you're
even.
Christian, you support Jesus Christ as your savior. So that's the way this works. Like,
Well, but
I
not even Israelis all support the current Israeli government. But
I know, but I'm just saying, like, there's some stuff going on with Israel, and then Gaza. Like, man, it's like an ethnic cleansing over there. Like they've
it's not. It's so not. It's so
dude,
not.
like all the children and whatnot that they've
Okay,
killed
here's
and
the
whatnot,
thing.
dude. It's fucked up, man.
All those numbers are coming from the Gaza Ministry of Health because they will not let anyone else in there.
And you're not in Israel. You're not either. So you're just saying these things because this is what you've read.
I am so
I'm yeah,
here's I think
same
this is the
perspective.
best way I could describe my position on this. I unfortunately, and I wish I hadn't seen them, but at the time I felt like I needed to. I saw some of those videos from October 7th. So fuck Hamas. And here's the thing, the conflict would be over tomorrow if Hamas surrendered. It would be over tomorrow. And not for nothing, that whole was it you I think it was a UN group or something or other. I don't quote me, but there was a big hubbub about a report about um,
Like so.
aid trucks being held up by Israel. Turns out that was complete fucking bullshit. They were sitting there, and the UN or whatever organization it was that was saying all this shit, I believe it was the UN or some organization, the shit was sitting there spoiling. They were Israel was waiting on them to take it in. Israel simply wants to make sure that Hamas isn't stealing the aid trucks like they have been and price gouging their own people to fund their war effort. That's it.
I don't know, dude. I've been seeing some crazy stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. It's speculation by other creators. So the thing is, like, but then I go and look it up, and I'm just like, man, this is awfully suspect. Like what Israel's doing. I'm not saying Gaza ain't doing
Yeah.
something, but at the
Well,
same
so
time, it's very strange.
here is the thing to remember.
And I did not get my information from Candace Owens. Just an FYI.
Sure. But here's the thing, and this is what I always
I
point
don't, I
to.
don't really care for her.
Whenever, and I'm not saying don't criticize Israel, just try to get the facts. But here's the thing to remember: Israel has a free press that criticizes its own government. It was an Israeli newspaper that debunked the initial claim by the Israeli government that
Do
there
they have
were,
freedom of speech
yeah, they have a free press.
like us?
I don't know if it's quite to the same degree, but yes, they have a free press. They have a press that criticizes their government constantly.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
And they debunked some of the initial claims that were made on October 7th, which don't get me wrong, it's still horrible, but they they got the government to admit that either they investigated the claims and they weren't quite as bad, or they fact checked, blah blah blah. Palestine, Gaza, I should say Gaza, not Palestine, but Gaza has no free press. Gaza has one press, and that is Hamas. Hamas is a state is the I'm sorry, the press in Hamas is state controlled. They don't even let foreign journalists in to interview or fact check. They send out release statements. And then we've seen a bunch of the photos that Hamas has put out there completely debunked because they were stupid enough to let somebody take a picture of the photographer taking the photo. and they have a lot of photos of. I mean, and the kids are sick, right? But so there
Hmm.
was one famous one. I think it was on Time or New York Times. It was a mother holding her child, and you could see the kid's spine. Well, it turns out the child had MS. Yeah, some other ailment. And then if you see the actual photo where they didn't crop out, his brother, who is the picture of health, is right there to the side. They released the photo, by the way, so you could. This is something you can Google.
What you said? His spine was exposed.
Yeah, it looked like he was malnourished because you could see like the outline of his
Oh,
spine, but it's
okay,
because
okay, okay.
there was oh no, I'm sorry, you could see the outline of his spine, not his actual
You
spine.
could understand what I was going there. Okay,
Yes,
like
yes.
I thought that maybe he was like in an explosion or something like that.
No,
His
no, no,
spine
no,
was
no.
showing.
Now and
All right.
again, do not get me wrong here, and because this is a soapbox that I will stand on until I've seen enough actual evidence to conclude otherwise. I'll bring up the Al Shifa hospital again. The initial report was Israel bombed a hospital. Well, it turns out the hospital was fine. Bomb had gone off in the parking lot. So then they said, well, Israel tried to bomb a hospital. Well, it was actually a sub terrorist group that allies with Hamas, and they had a rocket that misfired and thankfully hit the parking lot. But here's the kicker: the IDF went in there on foot later to deliver supplies and check the tunnels for hostages. Guess what they found in the hospital? Weapons, fucking weapons, and terror tunnels. So, like, I have
So there
zero.
was a reason they were attacking it,
But
if they were going to.
Israel didn't fire a bomb at the hospital.
All
They
right,
didn't do
listen.
it.
You might know a lot more about this than me because I'm just going off of what I hear, and this is why I say that everything I hear could be hearsay.
Well, and
Don't take it with a grain of salt.
not to cut you off, but like anything I'm saying, you can go fact check it. Just
This
please
is
look at
why, yeah.
credible sources. Don't look at Nick Fuentes' blog. That's not a
Don't go on
source.
YouTube. Don't when someone asks you for a source, don't post a YouTube video. Just don't do that unless
The
that
one
video
exception,
has
if it's
sources within it.
from a news outlet, because never
Yeah.
use our videos as a source for anything. That makes you look
No.
stupid.
We're just talking about it and bring it to light, and you do your own research, But that's no. What I was saying was, what was I getting at? Israel.
Sorry, I got a
Okay,
little hot. Why
who?
did
No,
my
you're good. You're
fan
good.
move?
Who fought first? Who shot first? Who attacked who first? Do you know?
For this particular conflict?
The whole starter. Obviously, they've been going back and forth for a long time, but like this specific like thing, like I don't know what you call it. Like, what's is there something wrong with your camera?
It's moving, but I don't know why it's moving or how it's moving.
Maybe it's tracking you because it's too close.
Maybe.
Move your head to the right. Move your whole body to the right. I want to see this.
That might be too much though. I
No,
don't
it
know.
ain't
It
doing it
was
now.
weird. It was weird. I think maybe the dog knocked it. I don't know. But anyway, oh, so your question was who fired the first
Who
shot
start
basically?
who started this whole thing between Gaza? Because obviously, was it between Israel and Palestine for the most part? Like, and then what where did Gaza come in? Because I
That
know Gaza
is
took over how long ago? Like,
that is a very difficult question to answer because it depends on your starting point.
well, Israel wasn't funded or wasn't founded until 1948.
As a
So
state, you're correct. Yes,
as a
as a state.
state. So let's just go with that. So obviously 1948. Obviously they've been having issues with Palestine for a long time, correct?
Well, and like most things in history, it's England's fault. So no, serious. I mean, like I say that half jokingly, but it's actually true. So England made promises to.
Fuck your tea.
Well, I mean, this is really where it all comes down to. You've heard of the film Lawrence of Arabia, right? You've heard of
No.
it. Okay. Well, long story short, during the Second World War, um, hang on, let me. Or was
Short
it
short
first?
story long.
After the fallout of the Second World War, promises had been made. This actually goes back to the First World War, but promises had been made to give the Arab population basically a free Arab state because at the time in World War One they were under the control of the Ottoman Empire, and then that empire crumbled. Blah blah blah. What you need to know for this particular founding of the state of Israel is that there were promises made to the Palestinian at the time Arabs and to the Jewish Zionism movement, which was trying to get a Jewish state. Because, as you can imagine, after the fallout of the Second World War, um, and if you look back historically, this is really a true statement. There really was no safe place for Jewish people to live, free of persecution, particularly after the Holocaust. Because the dirty little secret the United States doesn't like to talk about is we turned away a massive fuck ton of refugees trying to escape Europe, and we said, no, fuck you. We don't want no more immigrants. We don't want no more Jews here. I mean, they told the boat to turn around. And then most of those people ended up getting killed. So the Allies, but namely Britain, was basically responsible, and Truman played a really big role in championing a Jewish state. So in 1948, the nation of Israel is founded, and right from the get go, there were, you know, negotiations for land partitions. And the problem is the founders of the Jewish state. So when I say the Jews, I don't mean like the Jews. I mean like,
I know what you mean. You mean
you
Israel,
know, yeah, well, because it wasn't Israel yet. So that's why.
right?
But the Zionists, I'll say the Zionists, the founders of the Jewish state agreed to every single land partition idea that was drawn up. The Palestinians said no to all of them. The initial one was a very, like, it gave the vast majority of what we know today as Israel to the Palestinians. And then, to make a long story short, there were several conflicts. Now, Israel does get some grief because during the, I forget which one, what this one was called, but it was in the war in the 60s. I think it was the 7 Days War or something, whichever one. I'm sorry. I forget everything when I'm live on a podcast. They did fire first against Egypt, but that's because basically a bunch of Arab surrounding nations said they were going to come in and wipe Israel off the map. So, justified or no, Israel fired first, kicked the shit out of them in 7 days, and took basically what is now the Sinai portion of Egypt. They took that. They took part of, hold on, how do I word it? They took part of what is now Jordan. And then during some peace agreements years later, they gave back the Sinai to Egypt as part of a peace deal. They gave part of what is now Jordan back to Jordan, and the West Bank was controlled partially by Jordan, so they ceded some territory there, which is why to this day, like the innermost part of the, I shouldn't say the innermost part, how do I say this? The easternmost part of the West Bank is actually controlled by the Palestinian Authority, not by Israel. And then there's a shared territory, and then there's a part that is technically controlled by Israel, but it's mostly Palestinian, although that's where some of the controversy over settlements has come from. Like, it's not a clean cut issue. I'll be the first to admit that. But this particular conflict, Gaza used to actually be managed by Egypt, and then it was managed by Egypt and Israel, and then eventually Israel had taken over the responsibilities for it. But in 2005, Israel pulled out completely. Every Jewish civilian was pulled out forcibly by the Israeli government and given to the Palestinian Authority to govern, basically. And Israel still, they controlled the ports because they didn't want them importing weapons, but like Israel was making sure they had water and all this, that, and the other. And tons of aid from the international community and Israel itself. Israel itself was
that's
giving
a good
aid.
thing.
Well, but here's the problem, though. They immediately started firing rockets into Israel, hence why Israel has the Iron Dome. Israel did not want to fight. Israel did not want to go into Gaza. They pulled out in 2005. But then, October 7th, 2023, 2023, Hamas fighters crossed the border, killed 1,200 civilians, and kidnapped something like, I think it was 400 something. Not to mention the military deaths, because they did kill some IDF soldiers, but I mean, that's a bitch move, but it is, those were military casualties. That's, I don't want to say it's justified because it wasn't, still a bitch move, but the big thing was the civilians, right? And then they were shocked that Israel retaliated. Absolutely shocked. And people wonder why Israel does not want to end this conflict without it's stated plainly in their mission objective, recovery of all the hostages without exception, and the surrender of Hamas. Why the fuck would you stop attacking your enemy if you know that the minute you do, they're just going to turn around and fucking do it again?
I mean,
It's
I
in
can
their
agree.
mission statement. It's in their fucking mission statement. Death to Israel and death to America. It's in there.
So you're saying that all these other publications, and I'm not saying that you're saying this like out of your mouth, like, but these other publications and the others that are talking about Israel, that are spouting that they're killing children and whatnot, it's false or skewed or
It's skewed because here's the thing.
okay,
It's, I don't mean this dismissively, but it's war. There are civilian casualties, but here's the problem.
understandably.
So you have two problems here. One, the only numbers you're getting are from the Gaza Ministry of Health, which they are inflating them because actually the Elder Millennial did a video on this and he pointed out that based on the same numbers that the Ministry of Health gave and then some figure they put out, every child in Gaza should be dead based on the numbers that they pointed out. But that's
Oh,
clearly not true.
kind of like
So,
the COVID numbers.
I mean, kind of, yeah, because they're trying to make the numbers
I
work for them.
mean,
But
they
here's,
had to go back and change those too. Just saying.
well,
What
so
about the Epstein numbers? Like, let's we do need to eventually get back to that.
yeah, I will. But and this is the last point I'm going to make on that. And this is the bigger problem. So Israel actually, if you look at the actual terrorist to civil, or I'll be PC and say combatant to civilian kill ratio. Israel has the best record in urban warfare in the history of humans. It's 2-1, which doesn't sound great, but that's a really, really, really good average.
How many wars has the United States won and lost?
Well, depends on your perspective.
Of win and loss. Yeah, that's true.
Technically speaking, we've never quote unquote lost a war,
Uh,
but we strategically retreated from a few, and the War of 1812 technically was a stalemate that we agreed to peace before we lost. But
mhm.
that's a story for another time. But we called it a win.
It's kind of like Goku, who's never actually had a true win.
Oh, I don't know. He beat Nappa.
Beef. Uh, no, he didn't. He put him down. He
He
did beat
didn't
him,
kill. He didn't kill him.
but
He
he didn't
didn't.
finish him off. But the thing
Yeah,
is, like Nappa, like obviously his back was broken, and Vegeta saw
yeah,
that, and that's why he blew him to smithereens.
yeah.
But anyway, okay. So yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I
So,
get you.
but here's the thing, and a lot of people dispute this, and I don't know why, because you can look up videos of this happening before Israel bombs a target. If it is, which Hamas doesn't have military bases, so this is every target. Before Israel bombs a target, they call people, they send WhatsApp messages, they send text messages, they drop leaflets, they drop what's called a knocker bomb, which
That's
is
true. So they let
yeah,
them know, hey, get out of the area.
Hamas won't let them leave
Forgot about
because
that.
because Hamas wants their civilian population to be killed because they can use it for political propaganda. Hamas is too good at this.
But I also think that Israel can definitely take care of herself. Like they train like literally every
The
citizen has to
IDF,
go
yeah, the
through
IDF is no joke.
like
You have compulsory unless you have some sort of medical exemption, 2 year
they've got plenty of
compulsory.
money and they've got
Yeah.
they can take care of themselves. But the
Well,
thing is that like a lot of people
thanks largely to the United States, because if the United States was not funding Israel and helping Israel, they would not exist.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's to do right and wrong here. Like, like we spend a lot of money overseas on things like that, and like, I don't know. It's just like,
Israel existing is a good thing for the United States. You want
move them
well,
all
I
to
mean,
Alaska.
I don't
We
think
need people
that'll
up there.
I don't think that'll work for us. It's very chilly. Yes,
Whoa!
yes, that was racist.
Oh, come on, Kyle.
Hey, come on, Kyle, you've got a jacket.
Oh my gosh! Did you remember when Cartman became Jewish?
Yes,
That was hilarious.
that was good stuff. Um,
Anyway, so
the only thing I'll say in my defense is some of the worst jokes about Jewish people I've ever heard have come from Jewish people. So
yeah.
that said, but it's time for a sponsor break for a good cause to put a smile on your face. So here is our first one that we're looking at.
In Langley, British Columbia,
lives one of Western Canada's best-kept secrets. We are Wild Education, Western Canada's largest reptile and small exotic animal rescue. And right now, we're launching our most urgent fundraiser ever.
Less than 1 year ago, we opened the doors to our brand new education center, a space we poured all of our savings into building. But due to changes in land development, we found out we only have 9 months to find a new place and move out. This will be the third time in 5 years we've been forced to relocate, and this time, we simply don't have the funds to do it again.
Unlike traditional rescues with puppies and kittens, reptiles don't get the same level of support. But our animals need it just as much because they don't have anywhere else to go. That's why we're asking for your help now.
Last year alone, we took in 153 animals, including reptiles, amphibians, and furry exotics like chinchillas, sugar gliders, ferrets, and even hedgehogs. Many came to us sick, injured, abandoned, or surrendered by families who could no longer care for them due to the rising cost of living.
One of those animals was Gary, a serval who couldn't find a home anywhere else in BC after his family broke apart. No one else could take him in, but we did. Because oftentimes, we are the last resort.
We are currently also home to 12 rescued sulcata tortoises, some weighing over 120 pounds. But we know more will come in this year, who need lots of space, warmth, and lifelong care. Wild Education isn't just a rescue, it's a mission. Our entire rescue is funded by our education program. This program travels to schools and other events to help teach about the natural history, conservation, and responsible ownership of these amazing animals. We give people the knowledge to hopefully prevent animals from ending up in our rescue in the first place.
But now, more than ever, the future of Wild Education, its current animals, its future animals depends on your support. We know it's a lot, but we're trying to raise $1 million to buy a permanent property. A forever home where we'll never have to move again, and where our animals can finally be safe for good.
So if you've ever wanted to make a big difference in the life of something a little different, this is your moment. Please visit www.wildeducation.ca to donate or click on the GoFundMe link. We need your help to save Wild Education so we can keep saving them.
If you want to donate to help the cause for Wild Education, the link is in the description. And I actually forgot to ask everybody to please vote for our buddy Shawwin from the Goosebumps Group podcast for the 2025 Face of Halloween. If you're watching live, the link's not in the description now because I forgot, but I will add it when we get off here. So if you're watching this not live, it'll be the first one in the description. But help out Wild Education. And actually, that's great because we're going to get back to topic because our thumbnail had nothing to do with Israel.
Sorry, everybody. That's just how it goes. We're going to get back to the list. But the thing is, I wanted to talk about Charlie Kirk and I want to talk about Israel and I want to talk about all these things anyway. So this all just worked out perfectly. So,
Perfect.
and we're 36 minutes in. So, and we've had some good discussion.
We've had good times. So,
All right, so go ahead.
Well, so mainly we're talking about why the Epstein files are so hidden, which I'm very proud of this because I think I mentioned this before. I actually have a file on my computer. So the FBI knows exactly where to find it. I just realized how stupid that was. No, I have, anytime I see something, because I learned my lesson with a Kamala Harris clip that I went back to try and go find and I could not find it. So I don't know if I misremembered or if they scrubbed the video. I probably misremembered. I'm going to be honest. But now, whenever I see something that I think is politically important, or when somebody says something so fucking stupid, I now save a copy of that video and I have it in a folder. I have the entire, I guess, what would you call that? A press conference with all the Epstein survivors where they all got out there and talked and Marjorie Taylor Greene was there. And
I just got something sent to me. I'm gonna read it. Do you know who
Oh,
David J. Harris is?
no.
Okay, he's a political commentator and
Hmm.
he's pretty well known. I'm not gonna say he's gonna tell the truth. I'm not gonna
Not
say
by
he's
me.
lying. I'm just gonna read this real quick and then
Yep.
everybody can decide for themselves. Okay, so David J. Harris just posted 36 minutes ago. Bombshell. Senior DOJ Epstein investigator reveals Epstein was CIA, confirms rapes occurred while Bill Clinton was on the plane, says of President Trump, he's protecting a lot of other people. He's not protecting himself because there's nothing there. I've interviewed. Okay, that was direct quotes after the nothing there, and
Yep.
then this other one it says I've interviewed all the victims. There's never been an instance where Trump was on. I don't really care if Trump was there or
Well, they
not.
said
Just
they
to
said
be
that
fair, if
publicly.
he's guilty, put him in
Well, no,
prison
the
too.
victim,
But anyway,
the victim said publicly, and many of them
yeah,
said that Trump.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then all the liberals like, oh, don't believe them. Then it's like, okay, let's not believe the victims. But anyway, let me read this. I've interviewed all the victims. There's never been an instance where Trump was on the plane and the kids and the rapes occurred. But that can't be said for Clinton, and it can't be said for others. The DOJ, didn't want to go after Epstein because he's an asset for the United States and Israel.
I've
So,
heard that. I've
and
heard
it,
that
and
theory.
it's not talked about yet. It's soon to come out that Epstein was a CIA informant.
No,
An
it's been
undercover operation by James O'Keefe led this discovery. And like I know your
that's
opinions
been
on
being talked about.
O'Keefe.
Well, yeah, but that's
What?
not new. That's been being talked about for
No, no,
years
no. About what?
about Epstein possibly being a CIA or a Mossad asset.
But the thing is, they also mentioned Israel.
I know
So,
that's Mossad. Mossad is Israel's
oh,
intelligence arm. Yeah, this is not new news.
so
There was
Mossad
even
is like is their CIA?
basically, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
same.
okay. I didn't know that.
Mossad was responsible for Beepergate, where all those pagers exploded in Hamas, or not Hamas, Hezbollah operatives' pants, and yeah,
What?
that's
Oh yeah,
pretty
I
fucking
forgot
dumb.
about that.
Yeah, dude, they bought the company. They bought the no, did they buy it or start? I think they started. They started a beeper company just so that they
Yeah,
could
check out
produce
my
the.
beeper.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fudged up, dude. That's not cool.
well, and then they thought they were safe, and then it turns out Israel also supplied them with walkie-talkies from a different company,
So
and
they're
they
like,
blew
oh,
up
throw
too.
those away.
They blew up too. Um,
Oh my gosh. That's
yeah.
wrong, man.
Well, and
That's
here's
wrong.
to kind of circle back to what we were talking about. I saw a headline the other day that
That's
was
not
just
funny. I'm sorry I'm laughing.
well, no, it's kind of funny because here's the thing. There was a headline that was actually talking about the victims of that attack, and I'm just like, the only motherfuckers that had those were literal people in Hezbollah and not low level people either. These were higher up in the food chain operatives.
Dude, every
You
time
would
I hear
not have had.
Hezbollah, I think of the dude, the little kid.
Oh yeah, is he from Russia
I
or
love
where's
oh,
Khabib from?
he's from Russia. I love him though. Like, dude, he's hilarious. He fights everyone.
Dude, the episode, the video where he meets Khabib for the first time is just hilarious to me. I love watching that video.
But
Um,
anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
no, you're good. You're good. But yeah, no, that's not new information. Now, O'Keefe might be saying that he's uncovering another source, but here's the only thing that really bugs me about James O'Keefe, other than where he chooses
Well,
to have
to
his
be
days.
fair, they've been talking about it, but supposedly they have evidence now. So there's a difference between talking about it and having evidence. So
Right,
like if the
right.
evidence comes to light and it proves that,
I
that's
want
going to be
to.
a huge
Yeah,
deal.
and here's the thing. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying this is
Right.
not a new idea, and there always seems to be bombshell evidence, but then it never goes anywhere. Now, I mean, to be completely fair, that might mean that there's a big conspiracy, but our government's
We're
not
gonna
that.
have to hold an emergency elections if this comes out and all these
Ooh.
people like because they're talking that like I heard someone say it was like close to three-quarters of the government like
Oh, I
all
don't know
you
about
know
being on the list. I think there's too much turnover, honestly,
not
but I
I'm
think
sorry
there's
I
people.
say government I mean Congress like literally
Well,
those
I know
members like
that's what you were
I'm
talking
not
about. That's
talking
the
like
majority.
I'm not okay yeah but like like or even like maybe it was half maybe I'm getting egregious with three-quarters but like
I think it's less politicians and more like, well, I mean, this sounds really cynical, but I'm just going to say it like rich people move things a lot more effectively than Congress does because buy they just buy Congress. They just buy
Yeah, well,
politicians,
apparently that information was confirmed. Like, so it's not new. Like the stuff
but
before
confirmed
we were
by
talking
who?
about, apparently the DOJ.
Who at the DOJ? Because
Senior DOJ.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm doing this as a learning exercise, people. Because who at the DOJ? If it's some intern, who cares? Their opinion means nothing.
Senior DOJ. Glenn Prager.
Glenn Prager.
He
Let's
is
see who
the
Glenn.
he is the Jeffrey Epstein and just investigator from the Department of Justice. So therefore, he is within the DOJ, and supposedly this is confirmed.
Ex DOJ official. So he doesn't work there right now.
So then, why would he be releasing something then?
I don't know.
That's
Probably
weird.
because he was given money, or maybe he's. So here's something. This is going to take some time and patience for y'all. Remember that name and see if he has a book coming out. So remember Glenn Prager. No, I'm being serious here.
No, I
If
just laughed because seriously, yeah.
if 4 months from now you see this book coming out from Glenn Prager, that's a reason, or it could be true. To be fair, it could be
Yeah,
true.
he is an ex DOJ official. So like, so if he's an ex DOJ official, do you think they're keeping him on as a what's that called?
Like a consultant, it's possible.
Consultant. Yeah, so that's fair. So if he's a consultant, then he still has access. He's the Prager you got. Yeah, he is. So like,
Is
but
that
regardless,
Prager?
if they say
Like that's not Dennis
it's
Prager.
I don't know, but no, like they're saying
Maybe.
they're confirmed. So like we'll see, which means automatic grain of salt.
Well, I think you're
Prager, you
thinking Dennis. No,
Prager U's decent.
you're thinking Dennis Prager. But remember also, it was also confirmed that Obama's birth certificate was false, and it turns out it wasn't. Just
Yeah, we
depends on
never
who
seen
you
a
ask.
picture of Michelle Obama pregnant either.
You know what? Now that
Prove it. Everyone, seriously, prove it. Find me one, people. And not one
that's
that's doctored, because the thing is, AI is really freaking hard nowadays.
that's
But like, I mean,
that.
I'm just saying,
I
never
will
seen
give you
it.
that. That is one that
Mike,
I don't believe
like
it's true.
Mike.
I
Obama wanted to
don't.
be just like Mike.
Here's the thing, though. I don't believe it's true, but I also can't prove it. Can't prove it's not true.
Listen, I'll say here, fuck Republicans and Democrats alike. I'm in the middle.
Right there, right
And
there, right on the
the
fence.
thing is, like, being left is stupid. Being super right is stupid. Be in the middle. Now, the thing
You
is,
can
if you just hate someone over what they say, like you're low intelligence, and you need to like take a long, hard look in the mirror and just be like, why do I hate this person? Is it because someone else told me to hate them? Or is it because I actually hate them? Are
thank you.
you that low intelligence to hate someone?
Oh, and you actually reminded me. I have to publicly. Oh God, I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. I have to publicly apologize to Jimmy Kimmel.
Why?
Oh, because when we were talking about it on the last, still taste it. Ugh,
Damn
ugh.
right, Haley.
We go
Right
straight
down
down
the
the
middle.
fucking middle.
Right down the
So,
effing middle.
so when we
I'm
were,
trying to not curse anymore. I'm trying to be better about that.
fuck it. Um, when we were talking about Jimmy Kimmel, and to be fair, I still feel the same way about Jimmy Kimmel. I was happy that he got canceled, not because of what he said, but because I think he's terrible. He's not funny, and I think he's a giant hypocrite for the Man Show. I don't mind that he did the Man Show. I just don't like how he talks so much crap about other people when, dude, I've seen a video where you're simulating licking a woman's rear end behind her without her knowing. And
Well, the thing is, he also was celebrating people getting fired from their jobs when they were talking about the COVID vaccines and this other
fair,
stuff. And it's like,
and
dude,
that's
like
fair. But here's
they were fired for that. So this guy was fired for just being like, now the thing is, like, I don't know what he really truly meant. Like I don't think I ever really saw what he said. I think, was it a
and
tweet or did he say it on a show?
no, he said it on a show, but I watched it, and I'll be honest,
What did he say?
I don't remember verbatim, but he basically the gist of it was he had actually, earlier that day he had sent legitimate condolences to Erica Kirk, the Kirk family, and he had started basically his monologue.
Westboro Baptist Church. Uh, sorry, I gotta take this one.
Yeah, everybody hates
What
them.
what was the what happened to them? Why were they so
They're
hated?
still
I,
they're
I
still.
don't remember.
What is going on?
That is so no, dude. Seriously,
You
you
saw
have
that, right?
you have you have auto zoom enabled.
Okay, somehow. I mean, I don't
So
hate
hold
it, but
on,
it just
get your
keeps.
head down like this and go up and down.
What's
Open
going
your
on?
mouth.
Aw. Okay, so anyway, basically the gist is he said that Charlie Kirk was murdered by somebody who was like super MAGA. That's basically what he said. Was it
Which is
inappropriate
not
at time?
true.
But it's not. But here's the thing though. Like everybody was
He
making it
wasn't even
sound like he
right
was.
wing like his parents were.
That's beside the point.
And there's I
You're
know, but
right.
there's plenty of people on the right who give birth to these tards. I'm
You're
just gonna
right.
say it.
You're right. But here's the thing. What he said was not truly all that bad. I think the timing was kind of probably not the greatest, but in the scheme of
I need to look
things,
up what he said. I
yeah,
can't
you
remember what he said.
look
And
up what he said because in my opinion, I don't think it was all that bad. However, I was still a fan of Jimmy Kimmel not being on the air, but for very different reasons. But I even said at the time that he shouldn't lose his show over that. He should lose his show because it's terrible.
you're like a cat smelling shrimp right now.
Ugh.
No.
They should fire him and give the show to Craig Ferguson, a real late night host.
All right, so fire sorry suspension. It was never my intention. Oh, no, this is the apology. Like screw his
Yeah, that's the
apology.
policy.
I
Policy,
need to
the
know
apology.
what he's. They were desperately trying to paint the accused shooter. Hold on, like as anything other than one of them. He was basically trying to say that the shooter was Republican and
That's
whatnot.
that's true, Justin. It was actually a setup so he could take a dig at Trump. That's basically what it was. It was more a dig at Trump than anything.
Yeah, but you don't use someone's death to take a political shot at someone, especially when it's
And
not
that's
the guy who
and that's fair.
actually set, so like
That's
I
fair.
mean, and if he didn't get fired, I don't really give a shit because I don't watch shit anyway because honestly he has low ratings, like, like he's
Yeah,
not been
that's
funny
kind
for
of.
a long time.
Oh, I thought your curtain was on my wall. I'm like, what is that?
I like some of the musical guests he has on. So like sometimes if I see something like music related, I'll watch it. Like I'm not a hater like that. But the thing is, if I don't like the guy's political opinions, I'm not gonna listen to him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've never watched his show,
Scroll, people, scroll
and I'm
on.
sorry, but
He's a filthy human being. He has been for a long time. Like other than this bullshit, we already knew that.
well, and this might be a hot take here, but I'm just going to go out on all you people that were like boycotting Disney and saying this, that, and the other. You've never watched his show ever because it
Exactly.
sucks.
Yes. And it's like if you're just taking up for him because he's on your side. Like,
Go
don't
watch
get
the
me wrong,
Man
dude.
Show. Go watch the
There's
Man
plenty of
Show and stick
people
up
on the
for him.
right, or even in the center that I'm not going to take up for if they say something stupid. Like Trump, like at Charlie's funeral, what he said was just so dumb. Like it was
Yeah.
divisive still. Like, why did you need to say that, dude? Like, you didn't have to say that. Oh, Charlie didn't believe in hating anyone, but I sorry, Charlie, I just can't agree with that. And I just like that took me back. I was like, dude, Trump, like, there's a time to shut up, and this was it. Come on.
Well, as I said to Justin in a private chat, it's not like Trump has ever had a sense of decorum ever.
And the thing is, like, that's what people voted for him because that's
I mean,
what they
and
wanted.
fair enough, but like, I'm
Like
surprised Trump wasn't up there and was like, the bullet was bigger. Mine was bigger. He probably would have said something stupid like that.
that's my point. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely voted for the guy, but like policy and economy, that's it. Like I don't hate him.
He's not
I
doing
like
great
Trump.
on either.
Like, but I just yeah, and that's the thing. And everybody keeps saying he's doing okay with certain things. I'm just like, dude, come on, man. Like,
I
I'm
mean, hey, the Fed did cut rates 0.25%.
if bullshit is coming out, I'm gonna call it out. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not a fucking. I keep cursing. I'm not MAGA. Like, I'll be honest. I ain't never been MAGA. Like in 2016, I was ish because the thing is, I even didn't even look into Trump's policies. I only said I was gonna vote for Trump because my bartender at the time when I was working at this restaurant, she was like, "Oh, vote Bernie Sanders," and I was like, "Why would I vote for
No.
a freaking socialist?" And then I was like, "I'm voting for Trump,"
Well,
like
he
this.
didn't
And then
even
I
run
started
for
looking into his
president.
policies. I know, but I started looking into his policies and then what he was like trying to do and lower gas price and this and that. I was like, why would I vote for this guy?
Yeah.
I was like, this guy wants to like tax me to death and say, "Oh, I'm not going to tax you to death," but I don't know
I'm
why I'm
not
making him sound
going.
like John Kennedy.
I'm not going to tax you to death. I'm simply
There
going
you
to
go.
tax you to near death.
I needed a little help from Bernie. My bad.
You will
Thank you.
still,
Thank
you
you,
will
Bernie.
you will still be alive, but you won't be able to do
Bernie,
anything.
shut up. We don't want no bread lines, dude.
Bread lines are good.
I couldn't believe he said that. I was like,
Yeah, I know
what?
that was really
Like,
fucking
yeah,
stupid.
you're gonna win like that because I'm telling you what, most of these libs are fat, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just gonna call it as it is. They're fat and got colored hair, and like I know plenty of Republicans with colored hair. We have some in our church and they're great people, but the thing is, they don't act like douchebags. But I'm saying like a lot of liberals are fat, and I'm like, listen, if you're a socialist and you think that that's a good idea, guess what? You're gonna get a weight loss program that you didn't want. And I know you agree. Sorry,
Just in time for bikini season. But
just in time.
it's just in time for the
That
bikini
was a
season.
crazy rant. My bad.
No, you're good.
We
But
got a
we're
bunch of
gonna.
comments. So we need to catch
Oh no,
up.
I've been perusing through,
Okay.
but
All right. All right. All
but
right.
for the moment, kind of surprised Johnny and Daniel haven't shown up yet. But for the moment, we're going to take a look at our other sponsor, the Arate Media podcast program.
Hey, so
The one that
let's talk
started
about that amazing idea you've got. The one that's always in the back of your mind. Well, it absolutely deserves to be heard. Today, we're going to look at a network that's built to do just that, to amplify your voice and make that idea a reality. Seriously, think about it for a second. What's that one thing you're passionate about? That one story that only you can tell? We all have that topic we could just talk about for hours on end, right? But there's a catch. That's the big question, isn't it? It's the hurdle that stops so many fantastic ideas cold. The how of it all can feel, well, super overwhelming and honestly a little intimidating. So what if you had a partner to help you get over that hurdle? Well, let's meet Arete Media. It's a podcast network, and its whole mission is to help creators like you launch and grow their shows. Think of them as your partner in crime, helping with the tough stuff so you can just focus on being creative. Now, anyone can say they'll help, right? But the real proof is in the community they've built. And you've got shows that dive into pop culture and revisit those childhood scares, like the Goosebumps crew, sitting right alongside shows that give you these sharp business insights, like Startup Cores with Salt, Arizona. And the list just keeps going. There are shows about self-improvement, deep dives into the magic of Broadway, even really academic explorations of classical music. It just goes to show you there's a space for every single kind of creator. It shows that no topic is too niche or, frankly, too bold. And this isn't just some static library of old shows. It's a living, breathing community. It's not just about making content, it's about celebrating it. For instance, they even host the annual Artie Awards to recognize the best shows on the network. And just to show you how active it is, here's the latest episode from the Average Intelligence podcast, which just dropped. Seeing this really drives home that the network is constantly platforming its creators and their brand new work. So after seeing all of this, the question is pretty simple. You've got the idea. You've seen that there's a community waiting. Are you ready to take that step and finally share your voice? And here's how you do it. The whole path from idea to launch is laid out for you right there. It's not just about podcasts. It's about the stories and the knowledge and the passion inside all of us. So, what's yours?
I'm definitely, gonna probably end up going, but I was like, dude, he would love that. All right, we're back.
Yeah, so you guys don't know what we're talking about.
Nothing. You don't know anything.
Don't know nothing. But yes, if you have an idea for a podcast, no matter what it is, drop us a line. We will help you get it started. We're this is true average intelligence style. We barely talk about the Epstein files.
It's
I mean, but it's
okay,
all
because the thing is,
connected.
you can't talk about the Epstein files without talking about other things that like literally put it on the back burner. So like,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
I'm not
It's
saying Charlie put him on the back burner. Like that was a huge thing for our country and
that
everybody
was
saw it. So
something
like
that was
that's
going to
going to be talked
happen.
about for years. That's going to be talked about for the next 50 years. Like that was
Yeah.
crazy to see. That's like literally similar to JFK. You know, like
More
obviously
okay, like I'm gonna get some
it
hate
was
for this.
shocking. Like it's
I'm gonna get
horrible.
some
Like
hate for this. It's actually very similar to Martin Luther King's assassination. Because you got to remember, Martin Luther King wasn't a
forgot
politician.
about
He was
that.
involved in politics, but he was not a politician. He
Right.
was a purveyor of social change. Now, granted, he was more of a, but I mean, he was a liberal in the 1960s.
Sorry, Justin. He said much like the government. You guys barely talked about the Epstein files. That was a good
Virtual
one.
high five. That was good.
Yeah, and Haley, yeah, Jimmy Kimmel is not funny. Sorry
No,
if we did. Yeah,
he's not.
we were during commercial.
He's not funny. He's not.
He never really was funny on the Man Show either. He was
No, it
annoying
was
because
Adam
like
Carolla was the
remember
funny
that
one.
one where he was like, "Hey, you want to have sex? Hey, you want to have sex?" And he was just saying that to any girl on the street, and I was like, "Dude, that's not funny. That's cringe, dude."
I
Like
mean, that
some
show
people like
is
back in the day that
pretty cringe.
I
I went
I
back.
liked Adam Carolla.
I still like Adam Carolla, but here's the thing. I went
Mhm.
back and actually watched an episode of The Man Show. And I was like, oh my God, this was so bad. It was so bad. Like, it's
It
not
was, but I
funny.
enjoyed it when I was a kid though.
Like,
Like, but like
comedy
Jimmy, I
was
never thought he
comedy
was
was
funny.
different. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel was the quiet, nerdy friend. Adam Carolla was the one who was actually funny. Still true to this day. Because if Jimmy Kimmel had a podcast, it would be called Sleep Time, Nap Time. What's sleep time? See, I'm talking weird. I'm like that.
He's too busy crying on stage about tampons and stuff.
Okay. Oh, wait, you're talking about something else.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I don't think he was crying about tampons. I'm
No,
just
he was.
making fun of him.
Haley and I were talking about this a minute ago. I actually bought his apology, at least when it came to how he felt about Charlie. Um,
I don't to be honest, like I don't know what he said. I can't
you
really
gotta watch the video. I'll be honest, I bought it, but again, I think there.
kind of like Josh Peck. Josh Peck from Drake
Drake
and
and Josh
Josh. He lost all the weight and he stopped being super
Stop being
funny.
funny.
Like I mean he was still funny. Actually that's a bad example. He was funny. And
He was
still
less
like him.
funny. I don't know. I haven't seen him
Uh,
in anything.
he
I
was
will
he was
say
funny. I that was a
he
bad
is
comparison.
actually responsible for some, and this is not fair because I've not watched it. But do you remember the movie Turner and Hooch?
That was a great movie. Yeah.
Yeah, they remade it with him.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, they remade it with him.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't
Have you
watched
seen
it.
it?
No, I haven't watched the new one, but God, the first one. Why would you remake that movie? It's perfect,
I don't know.
and especially since
Why did they remake anything? Like they just want to
some
make
like
something
oh,
new.
okay, I will speak this again. This might make some people mad, but Dune needed to be remade. Okay, I said it.
Right, Haley, I agree. No tears. He didn't mean it.
But Turner and Hooch, after actually owning a pit bull now, that movie's funnier because
Dude, pit
now,
bulls are babies.
dude, I know, but they can clear a room, boy. Ugh.
Yeah. Scooby, dude. He
I think it's because
stinks.
I think it's because they'll eat anything and it just vibrates and
Dude,
it's gross.
my cat lives outside. He's an outdoor cat, and every night he kills at least 1 to 2 mice, and he leaves them at
Attaboy.
our doorstep. And Scooby every day, without a doubt, just eats it, chews it up, and we're just like, ugh.
Ugh.
He
Ugh.
licks Nora's. He licks our other dog's pee because he's not fixed, so he's like licking
Mm,
her pee to taste if she's in heat, and he
yeah,
does it all the time. Dude, it's the most disgusting thing ever.
pit bulls are
Like I don't let him,
gross.
like
I will give you that.
dude, our whole family's like, yeah, don't let him kiss you. So if anyone comes up and we're like, don't let him kiss you, please.
Yeah,
He's
it's
disgusting.
pit bulls are nasty. I'll give them that.
He's
They're
he's
lucky
a
they're so
he's a
adorable.
pig. He's a
He's a
pig.
pig.
Dirty pig.
He's a piggle.
Come
Oh
on,
gosh.
Satan. Come on, Satan.
I love you.
I love you, dude. How they did that with Trump was just not funny. It wasn't original.
Dude,
I
that's
didn't care
funny
for
as
that.
hell. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, dude, it was lame because it was Saddam. They took a character already
No,
and then made
here's
it Trump. And I
I'm
was like, dude, you
convinced.
could have done so much better with Trump.
Dude, Trump is Saddam.
South Park. What?
That's what the joke is going to be. Trump is just Saddam, or the thing that was Saddam is now Trump. It's the same character. They're doing this intentionally. When it comes to lore, like Justin and I agree on this, even though we disagree on certain aspects of South Park. When it comes to lore, South Park is never lazy, even though sometimes it seems like it.
Mm.
there are
Well,
direct
I
quotes.
watched it, and like I'm not, dude. Like you know me, I've been bitching and complaining about Trump here left and right. You know, so the thing is, like, I didn't watch it and like think like, oh man, this is Trump. They're just trying to make fun of him. No, dude, I genuinely tried to laugh at it, and it just was not funny. Now the Charlie Kirk episode was freaking hilarious.
That was good. That was good stuff. Yeah,
Master debater, like seriously, while he's sitting on the toilet, that shit was hilarious. Like even Kirk was laughing at himself about it.
yeah.
And they removed the episode, and a lot of people are saying that they should
But
get it back on
turning
because
turning
he
point
wasn't mad at it.
Turning Point USA actually reached out to them and said, no, don't do this because of Charlie, because he was a fan. He loved it. So please keep it.
Exactly. So
Um, so,
go
but
ahead.
here's the thing, and I'm going to shout Justin out here for a second because when we were talking about it, when he guest starred on this podcast, which is an episode you can still go watch, when we were talking about the season 27 premiere, Justin even said, he's like, no, the joke is that Trump is fucking Satan. That's the joke. Trump is fucking Satan. The last episode, that was the running gag through line through the whole episode, is they're like, oh, we're given to understand that the belief is that President Trump is fucking Satan. That was the
Now
whole joke.
hold on. Do you mean that literal, as in the sentence that you're saying that they
It's a double
believe
meaning.
he is Satan, right?
It's a double meaning. It's a dual layered
So
joke.
now hold on a second. Now just let me point something out. This is why I don't think it's funny, is because the thing is, like, with our politically charged the environment, like with them saying that he's actually Satan, you're gonna get some crazy leftist who has guns thinking he's actually Satan and
I
go off
would
and try to shoot. I mean, obviously they've already tried to shoot him. Like, I mean, how many times do you see left-wing political rivals being shot at and whatnot? Like I'm
well,
not
but
saying that
by
hasn't happened,
virtue
but I'm just saying, like, in
yeah,
this recent.
by virtue of that logic, though, that same person would believe that Barack Obama and um, John McCain, along with Sarah Palin and various other political figures, were involved in a co co in a what's the word I'm trying to say? They all had a plan together to throw the election to Obama so that they could all get together and seal the Hope Diamond on election night.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That episode, like,
Like,
I
but here's the thing, and this is why the joke works because in the South Park universe, Donald Trump is fucking Satan.
yeah.
Verb.
But that's my point though, is like, stuff like that. Like it's so weird, man. Like, just
I
it
don't
just
think
wasn't
this is a
funny to
new.
me.
I also don't think that's a new idea for somebody who's like hardcore on the left. I'm pretty sure, but I mean, I see where you're coming from. But like I said, by virtue of that
But they
logic,
make fun of both sides. To be fair,
yeah.
I'm not
Well,
I'm
and like
debating
I
it.
said,
I'm just saying I just didn't think it was funny.
by virtue of that logic, also Barbara Streisand is Mecha Godzilla.
Well, and like I said, the joke aside from the Satan thing, I just literally just watched it with a fresh, because I watch things with an open mind, dude. I like literally like movies that you believe are trash. So I'm just saying, like, I watch things with an open mind. So let's be fair. But like, it just was not funny to me. Like it didn't hit
Hey,
my
fair
funny
enough.
receptors.
Comedy
Now the
is
thing is,
subjective.
if you did, you did, but exactly. So, I just, but at the same time, like, in a politically charged freaking atmosphere, it's kind of like to do something like that nowadays, especially when your audience is probably split down the middle, between left and right. It's not a good idea to put out a certain message. I'm not saying that they should stop, or freedom of
I
speech
was gonna say,
exists for a
I
reason.
think South
I'm
Park
good with it.
is, I think South Park is kind of always the exception because it's
It
just
just
so
wasn't, it just
ridiculous.
wasn't funny.
Yeah,
But
fair
like I
enough.
said, Charlie Kirk one was hilarious.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Well, and
But
again,
anyway,
also,
so
but
I digress.
based on that logic, Christy Gnome's face is actively trying to disconnect from her body. Like it's.
I mean, dude, like how they talk about Canadians, how their heads, like the top half is not connected. Sorry, Justin.
Oh no, I love
Come on, guy. Come on.
I love that gag, but much like the government, and just
Why
pointed
do they
out,
say that though? Like, why did they do that? Like, do you know if there's any reason behind that, or
I
is
believe
there a,
if I'm not mistaken, they had just animated the character Ike that way from the beginning, and then in the lore, it was revealed that Ike was Canadian. So it's just it's probably an inside joke between Matt and Trey, but it's something that they'd consistently,
Okay. I didn't know if there was
had.
an explanation or whatnot. Like that's hilarious, but to be fair, it's making fun of a whole group of people from another country. You know, that's That's
I'll
still
say
insensitive
this.
too.
I'll say this about Canadians, though. I don't know of any other country that can collectively
Good sense
take
of
a
humor.
joke better.
Great shows, man. Great shows. I love the Trailer Park Boys. Like they're literally that's one of my favorite shows out of Canada besides Dragon Ball Z. Obviously, Dragon Ball Z didn't come out of Canada, but I'm talking about
Well,
the
the
original
the first dub
Ocean
did.
dubs who
Yeah,
got me into Dragon Ball Z.
this is true.
Because
Yeah,
I'll be honest, if I would have watched the dub and had to read subtitles,
not at
wouldn't
that
happen.
time. Not at that
Not at
time.
that time, but as I grew older and appreciated it more and learned Masaka Nawa, I can't remember if that's how you say her name. Goku's voice
Masako
actor.
Nagawa.
Hope she lives forever.
Man, knock on wood. But anyway, we're rambling. So
Well,
much
I'm a
like the
rambling
government,
man.
much like the government, we don't know where the Epstein list is, but we want to know.
We don't know where the Epstein list is. According to the Trailer Park area, it's because Canadians talk that way, as a Canadian can confirm. Ah, come on, guy. All right.
The president.
So
God, the
they talk with
camera's
their
doing
mouth
it again.
open, like I can't do it. I mean, what was it? Strong Bad. Remember when he was talking about Japanese, Japanese art? He's like, yeah, for some reason I got a real small mouth and when I open up a side. See, it did it to you again. You need to turn off auto zoom on your settings.
I shall. I thought I had, but apparently I have
But
to turn it
anyway,
off every
people,
time.
this has been a fun one.
It has. It has. Tune in next week for when we'll talk about something.
I'm sure it'll
Don't
be good.
we don't know what yet, but and for the meantime, check out some of our older episodes. You can go political, you can go fun, you can do. There's lots of stuff out there. Even Justin guest
Yeah.
hosts on some of them. So featuring episodes featuring real Canadians.
That was good. Now using real Canadians.
That made me laugh so hard. I have fun with our thumbnails. Check them out though.
It was.
And please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our sponsors, support them because they support us and get our watch time up so we can get monetized and bring you more bullshit.
And bye. Have a good time. No, I was kidding.
We were talking last night on a podcast. Yeah, when you're a white guy, you got to watch the angle of that hand when you stick your arm up in the
Yeah, it's like, hold on, let me grab my heart and throw it out to everyone. Oh, you freaking Nazi!
We pointed out there are different levels of Nazi salute too. There's lazy Nazi, fabulous Nazi.
But that was just so stupid for anyone to think that. Like, come on, man. Like, if you don't have brains, if you think he was,
considering
like,
that
truly Nazi,
considering that a
the
month or
dude's
two
from
later,
South Africa and survived it. For fuck's sake, excuse my language.
well, and then also the fact that Cory Booker did it like a month later, the exact same thing.
Exactly, dude. It's just rules for thee, not for me. It's just like,
Yeah,
shut up.
pretty
Just stop
well.
it. Hand movements, like, get rid of it. Like, that was like back in the day. You're doing a crip, thing. It's like, shut up, man. Like, I'm telling you guys,
Remember,
smart
there were
kid.
kids who thought this was a gang sign, like legit. They were like, "It's a gang sign."
Smothers. I remember one time the dude was getting in a fight. He put up his fingers
Yeah,
like this, and
It's
he's
like,
just
that's a
like,
good way
dude's
to.
just like, "What you gonna do? Poke my eyes out?"
That's a good way to break your pinky, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's like what's up, whatever.
Dude, anytime I teach someone to make a fist, I teach them how Bruce Lee did it. I'm like, listen, take these two fingers, you tuck them in as tight as you can, you leave these open, and then when you go to hit, you smack, and you'll cut them every time. Ask Jake. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, ask Boss Rutten. Open hand's fine. You can palm strike all day.
All right, everybody.
Boss Rutten never threw a closed fisted strike in any of his professional fights.
I am being summoned. I must go.
See you guys next week.
Goodbye.